So far in this process, what we've done is we've created some tool locators as well as some soft jaws in our Doosan Lynx lathe to simulate the process of machining this twin flow impeller blank. From there, we created the blank and handed it over to Jesse for some 5-axis finishing work.
Yeah, so over here on the Akuma, we did our 5-axis finishing. Actually, you did some Blade Expert roughing as well. So we're roughing in simultaneous 5-axis. For that, I'm using some helical tools. They're a reduced neck, they're a ball end mill, and really well suited for good access down into the part. When I'm finishing, I'm using a Harvey ball end mill with a tapered shank. Again, allows for really good rigidity and allows that access down along the blades. Now, I did have some issues when machining this part, and they were all mostly fixture related, right? Because this is two-sided, I have to flip it in between operations. And when I flip it, there's an opportunity there for error. And one time I did get the clocking off on the part, which scrapped the part out, and I'm wasting all that cycle time. I think if I were to go through this process again, I would probably implement some probing on the machine or just do a better job on my fixture design to make sure that I can't mess that up.
Yeah, that human element is always going to be the biggest source of problems. Jesse and I are still two people touching these parts, interacting with them during the process. By using a pickoff operation, we eliminated one human interaction with this part, therefore reducing our chance for scrap. But still, by having the two of us working on this part and handling it in between operations, we introduce a possibility for scrap. There is a much better way to cut this, and it's over here on our INTEGREX. So this is our Mazak INTEGREX i-100ST mill turn machine. What I mean by mill turn machine is this machine is capable of milling and turning in one single setup with zero human interaction. What the Doosan and the Akuma could do with 2 operators, this machine can do with only 1. This machine is programmed in Mastercam mill turn, which allows us to synchronize the milling and turning operations to run simultaneously, one for each spindle. So as you can see here, the INTEGREX currently has the impeller part in the main spindle. All the turning work and milling work was handled in this one setup by the INTEGREX, and the part is now half finished. The next step in this process is for the sub-spindle to come over with these custom soft jaws and grab onto the part where all the backside work can also be completed. The advantage of a machine like this INTEGREX is the fact that the only human interaction is putting in a raw piece of material and taking out a finished part. Everything is handled automatically here. There are advantages to the INTEGREX as well as to the 2 independent machines. These are both 2 different ways of making the same part, and one more tool in your toolbox for creating really cool parts with Mastercam.